Buongiorno everyone, welcome back to the Magpie Channel TV and welcome to player ratings after that 0-0 draw with Brighton. 1 second there, I'll just sort this right out so we can just get that on the screen for you. We'll whack that on and then we'll whack our players on when we talk about them. So we'll obviously have to start off and make sure you get yours in the comments below. There's only one place to start, isn't it? And that is with the man himself, the main man, Nick Pope. The trending icon, the world famous Nick Pope, now the viral sensation over the past 24 hours, his Twitter fame. And he deserves some serious credit today, just some actual fame for his performance. He was outstanding, Nick Pope. If it wasn't for him, Newcastle would have lost this game quite comfortably. Several very good saves from Nick Pope in goal. Really buzzing. I think he was actually taking confidence from his little bit of fame over the last day or so. He came into the game buzzing, happy, smiling. And he was just on it from minute go. He was really up for it. He was making saves. He was diving everywhere, leaping everywhere, jumping everywhere. And he had 7 shots on target today and dealt with every single one of them brilliantly. I thought he was class. Very, very good performance from Nick Pope. Now, I think it was kind of harsh on Brighton. They probably did deserve to win that game. Well, no, probably about it. They dominated. They had more chances. They missed some sitters. Pope made some great saves. We had some goal line clearances, which we'll get into in a second. But Pope was class. Somebody saves with his feet, with his hands, all round, brilliant display. And what a boost that is for him, for his World Cup chances, everything. If he can keep that up, no doubt he'll be on that playing a guitar. And he was fantastic for Newcastle today. Kept a clean sheet, kept us in the game, got us a point on the road. 10 out of 10 for Nick Pope. Kieran Trippier, Captain Trips, and he kept us in the game as well because we would have been 1-0 down already in that first half if it wasn't for Trippier. A goal line clearance from Trippier was amazing. Now, the ball looked to be all the way over the line, the full ball. I was sure it was over the line. I was waiting for the referee's fancy watch to blow to let him know that the goal had been given, that the ball had crossed the line. Thankfully, that wasn't the case. It was like 3/4 of the ball was over the line. So Newcastle got away with that one. Thanks to Kieran Trippier from Sully March's effort. His shot off the line by Trippier. Brilliant tracking back. I did think he struggled a bit at times, though, down that right-hand side throughout the game. Especially when, I forgot his name, Mitoma, or whatever he was called, came on. The Japanese player for Brighton. He was causing problems. He was sending them inside out. But so in the first half was Trossard and March as well. He was having a bit of difficulty at times, but he was still assured when it had to be. And without him, we would have been 1-0 down. So Trippier, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. Fabian Schär, unfortunately, no screamers this week from Fabian Schär, but still a very good performance and a goal in clearance just about from him as well. This one wasn't quite on the line, but it was heading in. So just like Trippier, if Schär wasn't there, it would have went in the back of the net and Newcastle would have been a goal behind. So Schär will owe everything to him as well, as like we do to Pope and Trippier. But Schär with the vital clearance at the back, he had a good game as well. He was getting interceptions in everywhere. I give Schär a 7. Sven Botman, who made his anticipated debut due to an injury to Matt Targett, which then forced Dan Burn to come in at left back. Botman made his debut earlier than expected, and he came in and he looked great. He looked very good. He looked totally composed, cool, ready for the Premier League. He was silky with it. I thought he was smooth. He didn't look out of place. He didn't look like it was his debut in the Premier League. He just settled in very nicely. He looked assured on the ball, especially the first half. I don't know if he was tiring towards the second half, but the first half he was very, very good. He was composed. He was spreading the ball about nicely. He looked like he had something about him. And it was a tidy performance. And we know it's only going to get better from him. 7 out of 10. Rounding off the defence with Dan Burn. Dan Burn filling in at left back today, where he played a lot for the club he came up against today. Back at the MX today was Dan Burn. Obviously spent years at Brighton and Hove Albion. Played at left back a lot for Potter. And he did well today. Did a job for us, more than did a job, got stuck in, contributed a lot to the game to make things hard for Brighton to get in behind. He was always in there. He did have a good chance, though. He did put a header over the bar. Our only chance the second half from a corner was Dan Burn. Should have done better with that, but at the back, solid. 7. Moving on to number 7, Joelinton. Now, I don't think the midfield did that well today, to be honest with you. Joey was battling as he always did. He got into a good scrap with, I think it was March as well, where they were pushing and shoving. They both got booked for it. But he was showing that passion and that desire in the middle of the park that you need, that bit of aggression. And And he did decent. Did decent with his midfield battles. I was looking forward to seeing him come up against Caicedo, who I thought was class for Brighton last week against Man United. And yeah, Joey did a job, but wasn't anything to shout about today. 6 for me, 6 out of 10. And the same we said with Bruno. It was quite a quiet game from Bruno. He's nowhere near what he's capable of, which you're not going to get every week. You know, he is human. You're not going to get every week, but he just wasn't getting on the ball enough, wasn't making things happen. He was very deep today, I thought. He was a bit sloppy at times. There was times where he tried to get in the box, but Saint-Maximin couldn't find him. But yeah, Bruno today, I don't think he was that good. I'll give him a 5, maybe a bit harsh, 6. I'm giving him a 5. Joe Willock, same again. I fancy Joe Willock to have a good game today. I thought he showed glimpses last week against Forest. I want him to get forward, make things happen, but he's just lacking that cutting edge going forward, isn't he? What we want from him, what we've seen from him when he was on loan was driving forward, efforts at goal. He had one effort and it was awful. Shot off the defender, deflected. He's not getting them positions enough. He's not contributing to the game enough. He's not bringing enough to this side for me, which is a shame. Bring him back out. Because I think Willock's good. And you've got to give him time. He's got to get a run in the team. But yeah, it's not good from Willock that today that much, I don't think. I think number 5 out of 10. And Saint-Maximin, for me, I thought he was wank. I thought he had a good start of the game. He looked bright again, but then he was just giving the ball away. The amount of times he lost the ball today, Saint-Maximin, losing the ball all the time, but his decision-making was back to being crap. His decision-making was brilliant against Forest. I thought, right, he's worked hard in pre-season. They've got him down. He knows when to pass, when to shoot, when to give, when to go. All of that went out the window today. It looks great in the build-up. Takes on 1, takes on 2, tries to cut inside, edge of the box, ball's gone, nothing happens. Over and over and again. In the box, to the byline, poor cross, nothing happens. It's classy. He seems to do all the hard work. It's brilliant to watch. And then the pass is crap. The shot's crap. I mean, like I say, Bruno was trying to make a run in the box once or twice. Saying weak passes, selling them short, nowhere near Bruno's feet, nowhere near in front of him to run onto. His distribution was, poor day. Poor. He came off for about 75 minutes, got a yellow card as well. I'll give him a 3 out of 10, mate. I thought Maxi was poor today. On the other wing, Almirón. All the talk is Almirón good enough? Do we need another winger? The answer to that is yes. It's still yes for me. It's still yes, we need another winger because Almirón, he was really bright actually. Around 10 to 20 minutes, he looked great. He was taking people on. He was bombing down the wing. He won a free kick in a good area. But it got back to the old point of one effort that he had, blazed over the ball, in the box, teed himself up nicely, way over the ball. It's like a par 3, teed up the ball, tight list, got his iron out, can see the flag, went in the bunker. Bunker shot, way over the ball from Almirón. Poor shot, team effort, over the ball. Loads of hard work, don't get us wrong, as usual, running all over the place, covering every blade of grass. But it came down to the final third again, that cutting edge. No assists, never looking like assists, never looking like scoring. It was a shame because in the watch along, I was like, wow, he's looking good today. He's got a spark about him. He's taking people on. He's bombing forward. Amounted to nothing. 5 out of 10. 4 out of 10. Callum Wilson cut a frustrated figure for the entire game, actually. He kind of followed him for his graft. Like he was battling hard with the big Brighton defenders. Brighton are a brilliant defensive side as well, and he was trying to outmuscle Big Dunk, Webster, these big lads, and he's doing a great account of it. He's sweating, he's boiling, he's whinging at the ref a lot. He looked like he was in a huff today, Wilson. He was whinging at the ref a lot. He tried to reciprocate his goal from last week where he tried to get in front of the defender and stab it. He didn't quite manage that at one point. He did have the ball in the back of the net, but that was ruled out for a high foot, on Dunk, which was kind of understandable, I think. I mean, play stopped. Sanchez didn't try and save it, but it was a good finish over him regardless. But his boot did kind of clash heads with Dunk, so that one was ruled out. Apart from that, lack of service is probably why he was in a huff and whinging at the ref a lot. And he came off as well, but Wilson, I give him a 6. Eddie Howe, I don't think there's any real subs to talk about, was there? What subs we got? 15 minutes for Longstaff and Murphy, to be fair, and a few minutes for Wood. Longstaff and Murphy didn't really touch the ball. Didn't see him touch the ball, so 5. Generous. Eddie Howe, come on to him now. Don't know about Eddie Howe today, actually, because it wasn't a great performance at all, was it? It wasn't a good performance, actually. It was a pretty crap performance. It was underwhelming. It looked tired. It was at the Heat, but Brighton played in the Heat and they played well. We just weren't up to scratch today. Never really got going. Didn't create anywhere near enough chances. The midfield was poor, but the defence was class. The defence was solid. Botman, Schär, Burn, Pope especially, very good. Eddie Howe set out the right team. I think Burn at left back did well, so that was a good deputise for Target, who was injured with a dead leg. So he picked the right team. The subs, he tried to change it up with the Heat. They didn't have an impact. More can you say? I just don't. The options off the bench were poor. It's hard to say, innit? Because, I mean, the best team were out there, the best players on the pitch, but they just didn't click today, never got going, didn't create enough chances. But the personnel on the pitch should have done better. Pope and goal. Good stops, clean sheet on the road, get a point. I'll give him a 7. I'll give him a 7 out of 10. A point away from home, it's a good point. Let's see what you just see in the comments quickly before we sign out. Need to bring in Paqueta and Saw. Need 2 more. Target, I think, was a big miss, actually. People are commenting, Brentford have beaten Man U. That's hilarious. I'll tune into that once this is done. Aaron, Miggy can't cross a ball in the box and isn't direct enough. Well said. Wilson 6.5. 0-0 is a good result. Best defensive player, 7.5 for Miggy. I'd look. Why does Miggy get a 7.5? What did he do to get a 7.5? 8. Am I missing something? Yeah. What did Almirón do to get an 8? Surely an 8 out of 10 is at least an assist. How can you give a player an 8 out of 10 when he didn't score, didn't assist, or didn't even have a shot on target? That makes more sense to me. 5.5, considering he didn't do anything. Ran about. Took on a couple of players, didn't do anything. Willock not good enough. Willock 6. Willock looked knackered. I think the whole team looked knackered. We had 2 water breaks. And it was hot, but they did look knackered. Bruno 6.5. Sloppy at times. Bruno a 5. Sees George. Joelinton 7. Burn 8.5. Maxi was awful. Botman 8. I thought Botman looked very good, to be fair, and he's only going to get better the more he plays. 9 for Pope, 9.5. Sure, he got to be a 10 with a clean sheet and all them saves. But yes, I do. I think we'll sign at least 1 player before the transfer window closes. Will be a forward, but I think we'll sign 2. I think we'll try and maybe get someone on loan as well. That'll do for this player ratings. We're going to watch Man U getting beat. Thankfully, you might even enjoy the last bit of sun. Cheers for watching, everyone. Make sure you drop your comments below, get your player ratings in there, subscribe to my Magpie Channel TV, and enjoy yourself.